I wish I had a camera to show. Mark always goes. So it's later in the day, and in the previous video you saw that when we went up to check on the horses that we saw there was a small wound on Faith, which we are going to doctor. So what I decided to do, the horses had all come down to get a drink, and I thought I'd take advantage of that and let them all in. They're getting a little snack, gives them a little break from the bugs. They'll only be in for maybe 15 minutes. Because you guys know my theory on that is I just would rather my horses be out than in. What I'm going to do right now is walk around. I'm going to put it's a mixture that I make with SWAT, which is a fly repellent ointment, and I mix diaper cream with it. So I just buy a generic diaper rash cream. Basically, the bottom line is it's a zinc oxide, so it's a protectant. What these bugs don't like is they don't like sticky stuff. So what we do is I take this and I just rub it on their inner thighs, and then if they need it on other areas like where their belly button is or things like that. And what it does is it just deters those. There's a specific biting fly that only is here for about 3 weeks. And if I can just get through that season, we don't have to do it anymore. And it really does help them because it eats them alive. So I think in a previous video way back, I talked about cleaning your mare. If she has her mammaries, you want to clean that because she'll rub her tail. This is another area you want to check because these bugs do get up under there, they bite, they draw blood, and then they attract more bugs because there's blood. So I can't imagine what that must feel like for them. So I try to take care of that. So I don't know, Mark's probably just going to follow around, and I'm just going to kind of quickly whoop, 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 and then we'll bring Faith out and take care of her. So we'll do Velvet first. Hi, Miss Velvet. So you don't need a lot, just a little teeny bit. And then what I do is I just go on their inner thigh. So you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see up in there. So you get like on their inner thigh. Good girl. And then we do the other inner thigh. And then on Miss Velvet, I try to do like her belly button. So right in here. And that's it. Do it quickly. Velvet does not like when I mess with her mammaries. I don't know why. There's a reason, I'm sure. And my thing is if she really hates it that much, I'm not going to press the issue. This is just a preventative. If she rather have bugs under there than this, then that's the way it goes. So we're just going to leave her alone. I don't torture her. It's unnecessary. And then we'll fix it later. So then we'll do Miss Chi-Chi. I'm going to be sticking my butt in their face for a second because I have to do it like this. So I just do the same thing. I just go on the thigh. See the thighs get it. And then I'm going to go around this side. And we'll do this thigh. The reason I add the diaper cream is it gives more stick. So it makes this stuff really stick. And it's a barrier, so it won't sweat off. And it works pretty well. All right, so we did that with Chi-Chi. We'll do Faith, even though we're going to be bringing her out in a minute to check her foot. Just do thigh. Good girl. She's got that. Little bug bite there. It's good. Yeah, that felt good. So got itchies? Are you itchy? I'm sorry, you're itchy. Okay. Be careful over here because she does have that scrape. So we'll get that. I do see that she did get. Good girl. Get your belly button. Yeah. We'll get your belly button too. Yeah. All right. I guess I'll go this way because you're making it hard for me to go the other way. Okay. And then we'll shut her in. I don't really want to touch anything with this glove because it's gross. All right, and then we'll do Miss Lily. Miss Lily, they really love Miss Lily. So Miss Lily is a horse that I have to do pretty much daily almost. But what I do is I alternate days. So one day I'll do just straight diaper cream. And then on the other day, I'll add in the fly repellent ointment. So she's not getting too much of that on her. that chemical. Kind of an anti-chemical person, but in some cases it is necessary. So just coating it really good. That looks good. Yeah, good girl. Yeah, and they're happy. They're in here munching their hay. They're out of the heat, out of the bugs. You're doing a good job walking backwards. And then Mr. Buddy. Hi, Buddy. I'll do his thigh. Oh, nice. Thanks. Jeez. In true Buddy fashion. Now, it's helpful that I have horses that know what I'm doing and they're okay with it. I imagine if you have a horse that does not like their belly touch, this could be difficult. So, you know, like anything, just be careful and pay attention to the body language of your horse. You know, if they're swishing their tail, if they're picking their hind feet up, be careful because they could come after you. Okay, now on Buddy, it goes on his thighs and on his sheath. So the sheath is obviously this area. His boy parts are here, but this is just the sheath. So that's where we put it. And he'll be much more comfortable that way. So done with that part. Now we're going to get Miss Faith out and we're going to doctor that little wound that we found earlier. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I was considering cold hosing, which is a really good idea because if you do a gentle spray, it can actually help if there's any swelling. Her injury is so superficial that there is no swelling, so we don't have to worry about that. A jet hose can be nice for some things, but if you remember, I talked about that it had already started to scab and clot. The scab is nature's Band-Aid, and a strong jet could remove that, and you don't want that. You want to leave that there as best you can. My biggest thing is I want to just clean it for any debris that might have gotten on there or any dirt. So I'm going to actually do a like an antibacterial wash, and then I'm going to use gauze to just gently clean that area. Then we're going to dry it, and then we're going to apply a wound spray. So right now I'm just going to put water in my little reusable bucket. I've talked about this. I save all my containers because they're perfect for stuff like this. So we can just get the water going, and then I squirt a little bit of this in there. It's called Novacin. This stuff, it's kind of hard to come by. I've had a hard time finding it, but it is a gel, but it's a skin and wound cleanser. But because it's Novacin, it has a mild anti, gosh, what's the word? Like Novocaine, so an anti-pain in there. So that can help if the injury is a little sore. So I really like this one. But any wound spray, quite honestly, any mild soap will work as long as you rinse it off all the way. So we'll just hook this here. My handy dandy hose hooker. Not. I like to use sterile gauze pads, and I just throw them in. So you just open, I'll do probably 3 of these. And then I have 3 that I can use to dry, because afterwards we will want to pat the area dry. So we just throw them in there, get them in there, and then dry our hands. I did bring gloves. Gloves are great if you're worried about contaminating the area or getting something on your hands. This is perfectly safe because it's a skin and wound cleanser, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to forego the gloves because I'm not worried about that, and I'm just thinking the water will probably get in the glove and it'd be really annoying for me. So we have our preparation, we have our humble assistant, and we're going to go get our patient. You're the patient. Yeah. You can come out and say hi? Did we fix your boo-boo? Are we just going to fix your boo-boo? Yeah, we just going to fix your boo-boo. Yeah, your little boo-boo. It's okay. We take good care of you. Okay, so we have our patient in the barn. I was going to give you just a couple of tips if you ever have to. Really? Really? Can you not do that? If you are working alone, which a lot of times is what happens, if you're working alone and you are working with a horse that you're not sure if they are going to allow you to clean the wound safely, one tip is you can clean from the opposite side. So for example, if this is the injured leg and you need to clean this leg and you're able to kind of see what you need to see, which usually you can, if you do it from the opposite side, you minimize your chance of getting kicked because they're going to kick out with the hurt foot. And if you're on that side, they're not going to be able to get you. Of course, you always want to be mindful of your horse's body language. Are they really agitated, twitching their tail, pinning their ears, rumping towards you, which means they're trying to get at you? You may want to call in an assistant. It's worth it to take a couple of minutes to call someone to come and help you. It can be someone that's in the barn. You can call, there's a lot of ways you can get someone to help you. If you're able to get a helper, we're going to call them the handler or helper. They're going to be standing at the head of the horse. Now, if they're really giving you trouble with cleaning the wound, you can have your handler hold up the opposite leg. So if they're standing, this is the injured leg. If they hold up this leg, they can't kick you. You see how that works? Because they can't do a handstand. Well, some horses are talented. Actually, this is one of them. She's very talented, so she might. But the chances are so much smaller. And the biggest thing is you want to be able to do this safely where you don't get injured. If you're worried about that, call a vet because they're experienced and we really wouldn't want anybody to get hurt. Okay, so we had to switch phones. Sorry about that. Mark's phone, we had too much video on there, which is not unusual because he does a lot of videoing. So the other tip, the first tip was the picking up of the leg. The other tip is if you have a handler that's helping you, you want them to stand on the same side that you are working. Because if something goes wrong, they're going to want to pull that horse and swing that rear end away from you to get you safe. So you always want your handler on the same side that you're working so that if something goes wrong and they have to swing their rump, they're pulling the head toward you to swing that rump away from you. It keeps you safer. We don't worry about that with this girl because she's pretty good. So what we're going to do very quickly, we're just going to clean the area. And when I say clean, I mean gently, gently, gently. Pat, 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 gentle wipes. Just to kind of cleanse the areas of any dirt or debris. Little bits there, little bits. Down here, same thing, little bit, little teeny bit. Pat, 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 pat. She just has a little bit of a abrasion there. It looked like she had something down here. I don't see it, but it could just be, that could have been blood that ran down. But just to be safe, we're going to clean that area. And then we'll go back through, do it again. Good girl. You always want to talk to your horse. Tell them they're doing a good job because it's hard for them to stand still. All right, so we've done a nice job of cleaning the wound without removing any scabbing. Okay, I'll be right back. All I'm doing is now doing, I'm going to do some clear water, just a little bit. We're going to take another gauze. You can buy these on, I think on Amazon, but you can buy a big pack of them. Another gauze that we're just going to use to gently rinse. And again, when I say gently rinse, what I do is I like to squeeze water. So I just start above the wound and squeeze down. You see that? So I'm not actually touching the wound. I'm just squeezing water. She's got flies. There. All right. We're done. Now at this point, we're finished with our water. You're good. You're good. You're good. Good girl. Throw all that garbage away. You're doing such a good job. Yes, you are. Now I'm going to use a gauze just to dry the area. And then I have a clean towel. Good girl, where are you going? So we're going to pat. Pat. You're good. It's okay. Pat. I keep just folding it over to get a clean area. Pat. Good. And then anywhere that there's like extra water, has accumulated, you can just take your towel and give it a pat. And that's it. So that's the cleaning portion. She's been a very good patient. A patient. This is another thing that I love. There's different kinds, Alu Shield, Alu Spray. Basically, it's just an aerosol bandage. It is wonderful because you can dress a wound from far away. So if you're in an area where you're worried that the horse is going to kick you, you can stand pretty far away and get this on there. So the biggest thing with this is you got to figure out where the nozzle points so you don't end up graffitiing them in the wrong area. So we're just going to spray some of this. I am going to hold her lead rope. We're just going to get up there and spray. You see? I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to go this way. Same thing on the foot. Good girl. Ooh. See, we're just, and then down here, I know there was something there, but I can't see it, but I'm going to spray there anyway. So this is an antiseptic spray that actually turns into a bandage. So it will keep the bugs off and it will keep the area sanitized. So she's done. The only thing left to do, well, the most important part, to move all this equipment, is the lollipop stage. Not really a lollipop, but say we get lots of cookies for being such a good girl. Yes. You did a wonderful job. Wonderful job. And that's it. So if you have any questions or anything, or your things that you saw that I did that needed more explanation, please just drop a comment below and I'll help you as best I can. Obviously, I'm not a vet, but I've been around horses a long time, and when you have to intervene, you know, you got to do it. So I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video. All right, bye everyone. Say bye. Listen, chewy, 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 chewy.